Good day and welcome. You're watching St. Maarten NEWSDESK, where we bring you the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond. With your anchor crew, Alston Lawrence, Glenda York, Tiziana Hart, and Mizzy with the Sunshine Report. This broadcast is brought to you by TV15 and proudly produced by Great Bay Media Studios in Philipsburg, St. Maarten. And now, let's jump straight into today's top headlines.
SSS Islands discuss healthcare and tourism. The SSS Cooperative Consultations 2026 were held on Friday, May 8th at the Parliament Building in Philipsburg, bringing together representatives from St. Maarten, Saba, and Statia. The consultations were held under the Memorandum of Understanding between the Parliament of St. Maarten and the Island Councils of Saba and Sint, also known as Statia. The goal is to continue structured dialogue and practical cooperation between the three islands. The session opened with remarks by Chairperson of Parliament, Sarah Wescot-Williams, who also chairs the SSS Cooperative Consultation. Delegations reviewed the 2025 agreement list and agreed that the Joint Steering Committee should meet more regularly to advance the work. Healthcare was a key topic, with Public Health Minister, the Honorable Richard Brook, and representatives of the Sebate Medical Center presenting updates connected to the Sebate General Hospital. Discussions focused on cooperation needed to provide quality health care for residents of all three islands. Economic Affairs Minister, the Honorable Maarten, and the St. Maarten Tourism Bureau also presented on tourism development and marketing opportunities, including wider cooperation with the French side of St. Maarten. Winair CEO Hans van der Velde addressed air connectivity, including routes, cost, load factors, and planned public service obligation support. The next SSS Cooperative Consultation will be held in Sint Eustatius in 2027. Carnival robbery case raises questions. A carnival robbery and assault case involving a 17-year-old boy is raising questions about the enforcement of government's zero-tolerance policy during the festival season. Attorney Gert Hatsman, who represents the teenager, says the authorities have not acted quickly enough, despite public statements from Justice Minister the Honorable Natalie Taklin that violence, disorder, and criminal activity around Carnival would be met with strict enforcement. According to the attorney, the incident allegedly happened on Carnival's opening night at Festival Village. The teenager was reportedly attacked after intervening during an exchange involving a young woman. The suspect allegedly assaulted him, pulled gold chains from his neck, and caused him to fall. Another person allegedly joined in the assault. A police complaint was filed and supporting evidence was reportedly submitted. However, the attorney says no arrest has been made nearly 4 weeks later. Hatsman also raised concerns about the alleged suspect's political connections, arguing that the situation risked creating the perception that some people are above the law. The family says one chain was returned while another remains missing. The attorney is calling on authorities to provide answers and act swiftly, saying the case affects public confidence in law enforcement and the credibility of Carnival safety promises. GEBE fuel clause increases for May. GEBE has announced an increase in the fuel clause for the month of May 2026, citing fluctuations in global oil prices. According to the company, ongoing geopolitical tensions and conflicts in the Middle East have contributed to unpredictable fuel costs. Since St. Maarten depends heavily on imported fuel to generate electricity, changes in global oil prices directly affect the cost of power production. For May, the fuel clause has been adjusted to 45 cents per kilowatt hour, up from 36 cents per kilowatt hour in April. That reflects an increase of 9 cents. GEBE says the fuel clause is adjusted monthly to reflect the actual cost of fuel used to generate electricity. The company says it understands that higher electricity costs affects households and businesses, while also noting the need to maintain financial stability and reliable service. Customers are being encouraged to reduce electricity use where possible. Simple steps include turning off lights and appliances when not in use, using LED lighting, setting air conditioning between 24 and 26 degrees Celsius, and unplugging chargers and electronics. GEBE says it will continue monitoring global fuel developments while providing safe and reliable electricity service to St. Maarten.
Hello, my people. My name is Glenda York of Sit, Sip and Chat and Moms in Paradise podcast. You can find us on TV15 St. Maarten, TVC St. Kitts, and on YouTube. Reporting from GEBE Media Studios in St. Maarten, your NEWSDESK feature story is coming up. But first, here is Mizzy with the Sunshine Report.
Hey there, it's Mizzy with the Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, St. Maarten, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into today's forecast and see how the skies are treating us.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience, community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience, hey. For every love, every adventure, number one provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want the road. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them is there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want the road.
Stay connected to the best of local and Caribbean content anywhere, anytime with the TVC Plus app, the official app of TVC Channel 40. With the TVC Plus app, you can watch TVC Channel 40 live, catch every episode of your favorite shows on demand, watch exclusive pay-per-view content, listen to Voice of the Caribbean Radio, and watch and read SKN Newsline. The TVC Plus app is available on all your devices. On the Google Play Store, search TVC and the plus sign. In the Apple App Store, type the words TVC Plus. And we're also available on the Amazon App Store for Fire TV and Fire Stick devices. Search the words TVC Plus. Download today and take TVC Channel 40 wherever you go.
All right, don't miss NewsDesk. Weekdays at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. on TVC. Sint Kids to the World, now streaming everywhere. The Central Bank honors Curaçao World Cup milestone. The Central Bank of Curaçao and Sint Maarten is issuing 2 commemorative coins to honor Curaçao's historic qualification for the 2026 World Cup. The coins include a silver 5 Caribbean Guilder coin and a 50-cent circulation quality coin. Curaçao national team midfielder Juninho Bacuna and former head coach Dick Advocaat performed the ceremonial first strike of the silver coin at the Royal Dutch Mint in the Netherlands. Curaçao made history by qualifying for the World Cup for the first time, becoming the smallest country by population ever to do so. The achievement has also earned Curaçao a place in the Guinness Book of Records. CBCS says the coins are meant to serve as a lasting symbol of national pride and a tribute to the moment Curaçao stepped onto the world stage. Both coins feature the blue wave, player silhouettes, the stars of the Curaçao flag, and a football representing the team's dedication and the country's identity. The silver coin will retail for 175 Caribbean guilders, while the 50-cent coin will enter circulation through commercial banks later this month. Sarah Wescot-Williams wins global awards. St. Maarten's Sarah Wescot-Williams has received international recognition from the Women Changing the World Awards. The 2026 global winners were announced, with Wescot-Williams receiving honors in 2 categories. She earned first place in the Women in Corporate and Public Sector category, recognizing her decades of leadership and public service in St. Maarten and the wider Caribbean. She also received second place in the Experience That Inspires 65+ category, which celebrates women whose life experience, wisdom, and continued work inspire meaningful change. The Women Changing the World Awards recognize women from around the world who are making a positive impact through their work, leadership, and service. Wescot-Williams said being recognized not once, but twice reflects a lifetime dedication to public life and to the people of this country. She added, "St. Maarten, this is for you." The recognition places one of St. Maarten's long-standing public leaders on the global stage while highlighting the island's contribution to leadership, governance, and women's advancement. Foster Care Awareness Month opens. St. Maarten has officially launched Foster Care Awareness Month 2026 under the theme Foster the Future. The launch took place last week, Tuesday, May 5th, at the Bel Air Community Center in Cahill, bringing together government officials, social workers, foster families, volunteers, artists, educators, foster children, and community partners. The event was organized by the Judicial and Institutional Services Foundation through its Foster Families Central Department to raise awareness about the need for safe, loving, and permanent homes for children in care. The evening featured performances, personal testimonies, and a collaborative mural created by fostered youth during a workshop supported by Art Saves Lives. The mural and other donated items were featured in a silent auction, with proceeds going towards programs that support children in foster care. Justice Minister Natalie Tacklin also announced that the 2026 draft budget includes proposed amendments to more than double the current financial support for foster families. Throughout May, outreach activities will continue to promote foster care, mentorship, volunteerism, and community support. The month will end with a walkathon on May 30th under the theme Taking Steps to Foster the Future. Organizers are calling on the community to be the village and help ensure that no child faces the future alone.
When we come back, we go to our in-depth feature of the day, exploring one of the island's most thought-provoking topics. That's just ahead. Stay tuned.
You know, we all talk about having rights. And yeah, we do.
We have the right to be safe,
the right to learn and get an education,
the right to speak up and be heard,
the right to dream big and build our future.
But listen, rights don't stand alone.
We also have responsibilities.
Real talk, if we want respect, we gotta give respect too.
St. Maarten is our home.
So let's protect it. Keep our beaches clean, our streets clean, and show love to nature.
Healthy island, healthy future.
Our parents and guardians do a lot for us.
Let's show respect, talk to them, and listen, even when it's hard.
School prepares us for life.
So we show up, we stay focused, and we put in effort.
We want opportunities, so we work for them.
We are part of this community, every village, every culture, every neighborhood.
Let's be kind, positive, and supportive.
A stronger community starts with us.
And most importantly, we are responsible for ourselves.
We make healthy choices for our mind and body.
We believe in our goals and our voice and our future.
Our rights give us power, our responsibilities make us leaders. Together we rise.
The Convention of the Rights of the Child isn't just a policy, it's protection and responsibility. When our children learn their rights, they are better prepared to take on their responsibility. This public service announcement is brought to you by the Department of Youth.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every love, every adventure. #1 provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want the road. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them it's there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to road.
Before we wrap up, we take a moment each day to check in with our neighbors across the region. There's always a story worth paying attention to. Here's today's regional headline.
For our regional story, Barbados pushes regional free movement. Barbados says migration must be treated as a central part of Caribbean development, not just a border issue. Speaking at the International Migration Review Forum at the United Nations, Barbados Minister of Home Affairs and Information Gregory Nichols said migration is tied to sustainability, economic resilience, national identity, and human rights, especially for small island developing states. Nichols pointed to the October 1st, 2025 launch of full free movement between Barbados, Belize, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Under that arrangement, nationals of those 4 countries have the right to live, work, and reside indefinitely across the participating states, with healthcare and education access for their children. He described the move as a blueprint built on political will, regional solidarity, and human rights. Barbados is also developing a national migration policy aimed at modernizing migration pathways, improving border systems, supporting economic growth, and protecting labor rights. Nichols also linked migration to climate change, saying small islands are already facing displacement, pressure on borders, food security concerns, and wider instability. He said Barbados will continue pushing for climate finance reform through the Bridgetown Initiative, while also deepening engagement with its diaspora in the United Kingdom, Canada, and the United States. The message from Barbados is clear. When managed properly, migration can become an engine for creativity, innovation, and regional growth.
Welcome back. Each day we take a moment to go beyond the headlines and look deeper into the issues, people, and conversations shaping life here on St. Maarten. Welcome to today's NEWSDESK feature.
Norovirus outbreak aboard the Caribbean Princess has once again placed cruise ship health under the spotlight. And for islands like St. Maarten, this is more than an overseas headline. It is a reminder of how closely public health and cruise tourism are connected. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Caribbean Princess reported a gastrointestinal illness outbreak during its May 2026 voyage, with 102 passengers and 13 crew members reporting symptoms. The main symptoms were vomiting and diarrhea, and Princess Cruises responded by isolating sick persons, increasing cleaning and disinfection, collecting stool samples for testing, and preparing the ship for additional sanitation procedures. The ship was carrying more than 3,000 passengers and over 1,100 crew members, meaning the outbreak crossed the CDC's public reporting threshold on the passenger side. That threshold is important because cruise ships are required to report gastrointestinal illnesses when cases reach certain levels, making these outbreaks more visible than many similar illnesses that happen quietly in communities, schools, hotels, or workplaces. Norovirus is highly contagious. It spreads through direct contact with an infected person, contaminated food or water, and contaminated surfaces. Most healthy adults recover within 1 to 3 days, but the illness can be more serious for elderly persons, young children, and people with underlying conditions. And this is why the Caribbean pays attention. Cruise ships move between islands quickly. A vessel may call in Aruba, Bonaire, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, the Bahamas, St. Maarten, and other ports over a very short period. That mobility is what makes cruise tourism so valuable, but it also makes surveillance and early reporting essential. For St. Maarten, which welcomes cruise passengers as a major part of its tourism economy, the key issue is not panic, it is preparedness. The Ministry of Public Health has already emphasized the importance of port health systems in another recent cruise-related alert involving hantavirus. Minister Richenel Bruch noted that the Maritime Declaration of Health process plays a critical role in identifying and managing possible health risks before vessels arrive. He also said St. Maarten continues to work with regional and international partners to keep those systems effective. That point matters here as well. Norovirus and hantavirus are completely different illnesses. Norovirus is a common gastrointestinal virus that spreads easily in close contact environments. Hantavirus is rare, linked mainly to certain rodents, and carries a different level of severity. But both stories underline the same lesson. Cruise tourism depends on strong health monitoring. The Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARFA, has also been working to strengthen healthier and safer cruise tourism across the region. In 2025, CARFA reported that regional cruise tourism surveillance and partnership workshops included St. Maarten, and that the St. Maarten Tourism and Health Program was officially launched as part of efforts to improve health security in tourism. That kind of regional cooperation is important because no island operates alone in cruise tourism. A health issue on one ship can affect multiple destinations. A weak reporting system in one port can create uncertainty for others. And in a tourism-dependent region, even the perception of health risk can influence traveler confidence. Still, cruise-related norovirus should be kept in perspective. The CDC notes that norovirus is often associated with cruise ship outbreaks, but cruise ships are not the only places where it spreads. They simply have stronger reporting systems, shared living spaces, and public records that make outbreaks more visible. For passengers, crew, and the public, the practical advice remains simple but powerful. Wash your hands thoroughly with soap and water, especially after using the bathroom and before eating. Hand sanitizer can help, but is not always as effective against norovirus as proper hand washing. For St. Maarten and nearby islands, the bigger message is clear. Cruise tourism brings opportunity, movement, and income, but it also requires constant vigilance, strong communication, and public health systems that can respond before small problems become bigger ones. So the question is not whether outbreaks will happen, they will. The real question is whether the region is ready to detect them early, manage them quickly, and protect both public health and the tourism economy. That depends on trust.
That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Maarten News Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every weekday at 8 a.m. on TV 15 and across all our social media platforms. From all of us here at News Desk, we wish you a fantastic week ahead. Until next time, stay friendly, St. Maarten.